Hi, Dave Taylor here again, and this time I'm looking at a tablet. Now, I know you're thinking, oh, an iPad? And really, iPad has really become synonymous with tablets, but they shouldn't be. Apple has a really good product, but there are some really amazing alternatives out there now. And this is the Nexus 9. This is from Google, although it's actually manufactured by HTC. You see it comes with a smart cover. We'll get back to the smart cover later. But the device itself, let me unlock it, and you can see here, I don't know how well you can see the screen, but let's go home. You know, this is running full Android, and it's incredibly fast. So I have a variety of different iPads, and you get used to the speed of iOS, and it's not a slow tablet operating system, but this version of Android 5.0 running on this very high-powered Nexus tablet really makes me realize what I'm missing. This thing is just lightning fast. I mean, you can see here, I'll open an app, and it opens right up. It's done. It's ready to roll. And in terms of specs, well, let's see. So I got them all written down here because there's a lot. So it runs at QXGA resolution. Where they come up with these acronyms, I have absolutely no idea. But that means it's double HD. So this is running at 2048 by 1536 pixels. Now you'll remember that HD TV is 1080p, which means that it's 1080 pixels. So this is basically double HD, which means that things like photos and video look beautiful on it. It's also running an NVIDIA Tegra K1 processor at 2.3 gigahertz, and that's really where the performance and speed comes from. And NVIDIA also is not without its experience with doing video, and it certainly has powered a lot of display cards on PCs for a long time. Let's see, has a 1.6 megapixel forward-facing camera for those ever-important selfies, and an 8 megapixel rear-facing camera for everything else that you would take a photo of. It's actually an 8.9 inch display. I think that's important disclosure when we're talking about it being a Nexus 9. So technically it's not exactly 9 inches, but you know, we'll cut them slack for that 0.1 inch difference on the diagonal. And it weighs in at a little less than a pound. It's 0.96 pounds. Now, to be fair, it is heavier and thicker than my experiences with the iPad. Now, I haven't weighed them against each other directly, but it feels substantial. So the good news is that it's really fast. And so I think that it's really worth it, and it's less expensive than an iPad, and that's nice too. And it's running Android, which means that you have access to a whole different world, a whole different ecosystem. But speaking of ecosystems, one of the problems is that the iPad is such a dominant tablet that there are tons of companies making tons of great covers and keyboards and screen protectors and all sorts of stuff. There's a whole world of accessories out there. When you get into these other brands like the HTC Nexus, there's not so much out there. So when HTC came out with their smart cover, I said, well, I got to get one of these. And you can see it's one of these where it has the different folds, so you can do it different ways to get it to stand up and such. And that's really cool. Unfortunately, the Nexus design team, or the perhaps HTC cover design team, whatever, didn't really study the iPad cover well enough, because this actually drives me crazy. And you can see the problem here if you look real close. Because the cover bends, it works with a magnet, but it doesn't actually stick back. And you can reverse it. You can go either way, which is nice. Then you get some nice colors. But in one orientation, everything's nice and snug and all the corners are snug on the screen. But you turn it the other way and you get this sort of wobbly effect. Even more bizarre is that there's no hinge. So it's really just sort of like a face cover, which means that when you go to open it, you have to have this sort of tricky maneuver to get it to not fall off. So I really like the tablet. It's $399 for 16 gig and $479 for 32 gig. You can go check it out at Amazon.com, and they have tons and tons of super positive reviews. But the cover, 45 bucks for the HTC Nexus 9 smart cover. I think they need another generation of this. I don't think they got this one right. So this is Dave Taylor saying the cover, not so much, but the tablet, this is a keeper. The Google HTC Nexus 9. I say, before you go buy an iPad, check this one out.